Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I'm going to take just a few minutes to go over a movie that I know I should have reviewed about a month ago, 2 months ago, but I'm finally reviewing it. And the movie is called Luca. This sweet animation is available exclusively on Disney Plus. It's rated PG and it's an hour and 35 minutes. So, in a nutshell, on the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human. This colorful animation is directed by Italian director Enrico Casarosa. So let me point out the things I liked and didn't like, and I'll give you tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and recommendations for other movies I think you're also going to enjoy. So for the things that I really liked, the list is pretty long. First of all, we get to travel to Italy, one of my favorite countries in the world. I've been there a few times, and in fact, my husband and I are so obsessed, we remodeled our house to kind of feel like an Italian villa. Many of the scenes on the land look like they were inspired by a place called Cinque Terre, which we adored in Italy, of course. I went there a few years ago with my husband and some other college friends that we've known for years, and we all fell in love with it. It's actually five, that's Cinque, five lands of earth or five little towns along this coastline. That's the Terra part of it. So Cinque Terre. And they had a mudslide about a year before we got there. And so the only way that you could get from village to village used to be by train, which is actually illustrated in this movie. But the only way you could get there when we were there a few years ago was by walking, hiking on the mountain, the side of the mountain from little town to little town, or by boat. So we opted for the boat ride, and it was just stunning. Anyway, I absolutely love being able to see this beautiful area of Italy in the movie. There are tons of beautiful Italian touches to teach audiences a little bit about that amazing country and culture, the food, the music, the art, everything. An Italian word you hear often in the movie is andiamo, which means let's go. I could definitely see Disney's Epcot Center offering an Italian restaurant or gelateria, focusing on some of these elements from Luca. Be super cute. And by the way, you need to fix a plate of pesto pasta while you watch this movie so that you can eat and really feel like you're in Italy. That was just one of the most wonderful aspects of the movie for me. The animation, of course, is reliably Disney, which is to say, really great. Technically, amazing. No surprise there. Disney is a master, and Pixar too, of details and animation, color, texture, facial expressions, and body movement. I mean, they are the masters of animation. The water world in the ocean is just as impressive and detailed as the gorgeous Italian town up on the land. Now, it's not the groundbreaking masterpiece that Toy Story was, but it's still a wonderful addition to the world of Disney and Pixar. Kids will probably think that this cat that's in the movie looks a lot like Hitler, and they'll think that's funny. And the fish out of water movie and setting feel exactly like a fun summer adventure. It's light and breezy and doesn't attempt to dive deep into emotions like some of the more recent films that we've seen, like Soul and Inside Out. I should say award-winning films like those two. The metaphor of these two young sea monster friends changing into human boys easily represents how we all change and morph as we learn, age, and grow. So it's a very simple metaphor to teach your kids. And you should talk to your kids about that. The talented cast includes young Jacob Tremblay, Jack Dylan Grazer, Emma Berman for the young kids in the movie, Maya Rudolph, Giacomo Gianniotti, and one of my favorite comedians, Jim Gaffigan. That was such a fun surprise. Keep watching during the final credits for some artistic representations of what happens to the characters after the story ends in the movie. Plus, keep watching till the very, very, very end for a bonus clip that'll make you laugh, featuring the voice of comedian and actor Sacha Baron Cohen. So that was a surprise too. Now, there were a few things that I didn't like. First of all, I wondered how much money did Vespa pay for the product placement in this movie? Because it is significant how much Vespas are seen and talked about. And really, the whole plot of the story is these two boys want to win a Vespa in this competition. It's predictable, but still worthy of the journey. It doesn't pack an emotional punch like some of these other Disney Pixar movies that I mentioned, but it still brought a smile to my face. It leaves you feeling warm and fuzzy inside. No crying for me, but I still felt really good afterwards, and you will too. There's no explanation about why the sea monsters have this physical transformation on land. And we don't really get to learn a whole lot about their life and exactly what it is they do under the ocean, because the majority of the movie is on land. The villain in this movie is one of Disney and Pixar's weakest villains ever, by far. It's also really hard to tell how old this villain is, which was kind of odd. Rumor has it that Pixar was super miffed that this movie didn't go to theaters and instead went straight to Disney Plus. So what's up with that, Disney? I mean, they charge a premium on top of the membership, and it just keeps feeling more like a money grab and just kind of greedy. And so I'd like to see them stop doing that. They have enough money, right? Now, let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, there's some Italian that's spoken without subtitles. You don't really lose a lot by not knowing what's being said. But it kind of adds to the flavor of the movie, really. There's some text on the screen that has to be read in English. There's some kind of rude humor as some of the kids are bullying each other and just being mean, a little bit of violence. There's some destruction and people in perilous situations. No profanity. So yay, I love that. Instead, the replacement profanity comments are things and cute things like, oh, sharks, or Santa Mozzarella, which is said several times. And I think that's super cute. Parents will love the fact that a couple of the kids really, really want to go to school and they like it. So yay. Now, some themes that are illustrated in the movie are bullying, the love and search for knowledge, being accepted for who you are, judging others, bigotry, friendship, fear, underdogs, sacrifice for others, and a coming of age. So those are all done very, very well. They don't hit you over the head with a hammer, but you just experience it during that easy breezy flow that is the movie. Now, I always write down funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can go over there and see all of those. But so I'll share one of the funny lines. So Luca and Alberto are two of the sea monsters, the kids, and they're watching a human swim, just, you know, how humans swim. And when they're in the water, they're gliding and so graceful. And so Luca says, I guess that's how humans swim. And then Alberto says, that's embarrassing. And there's just a lot of poking fun at humans versus sea monsters. And it's very, very cute. So you want to know what movie review mom grade I'm giving this? I think it's a beautiful movie, so much going for it. But there also are a few things that are missing, as I mentioned. And it's definitely not at the top of the Disney or Pixar list of all-time great movies that are going to be classics forever. You know, it's serviceable, it's cute, it's time well spent with your family. So I'm giving it a B+. So before we go, let me give you a couple of recommendations for other movies that I think that you'll also really enjoy that are sort of similar. The first one being, of course, The Little Mermaid. I remember when I had babies watching The Little Mermaid when it just came out, and they would fall asleep on the bed and I would be up and I'd keep watching it. Anyway, classic, wonderful. It has its flaws. And so I'm really curious what changes they're going to make for the live action remake of The Little Mermaid. We shall soon see. And then another movie that has a similar vibe is The Good Dinosaur, where it's a coming of age, where the protagonist leaves his family and discovers what else is out there in the world. That kind of thing. Both lovely, lovely movies. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope if you watch this movie that you really enjoy it. And like I said, get your Italian food ready to go while you watch it. So I will catch you in the next movie review or trailer reaction. And until then, addio, buongiorno, buonasera, whatever time of day it is in your area. All right, bye for now.